Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Mattel DC Universe. This is Classics Wave 17, the Anti-Monitor Wave. We're looking today at Orange Lantern Lex Luthor. I think of several of the figures that I wanted to get in this set. Definitely one of them was Orange Lantern Lex Luthor. I'll have some thoughts to share with you, but right now we'll obviously look at the package. The packaging is the exact same on all the figures. And actually this back card has been used on several occasions as well. It will probably be used still several times again. I know they're going into, was the All-Star Wave or something like that now, but you never know, maybe they might change out the packaging by that point. Down below, there is the Orange Lantern logo, the core logo. There's not as much going on, I think, with this particular logo as some of the other core members, all things considered. On the back of the package, there's a picture of Orange Lantern Lex Luthor, which I gotta say, I'm looking at that picture of his head, and I'm looking at the figure its head, and it seems to me like they changed out the head. I might even be wrong, but I'm thinking when I saw the early toy gallery pictures, the toy show pictures of Luthor here, he did in fact have this head. And then it looks like they've just gone back to reusing the original head that came with the Superheroes Luthor. I'm really talking about stuff that I should be talking about when I have the figure out of package, but I'm throwing it in there now. Spot is an older gentleman after all. I might very well forget. It's possible. The read-up, though, on Lex Luthor says, biography: as Black Lanterns spread across the globe, Lex Luthor was hunted down by hundreds of his rivals rising from the grave. The Orange Ring of Avarice chose Lex Luthor, the greediest, most self-serving man on the planet, and granted him the power to defeat the undead attackers. As an Orange Lantern, Lex Luthor can never be content, always wanting more, including the power ring of his allies. I don't know if you actually knew this, but a quick story change. Initially, they were going to give the Orange Lantern to Donald Trump. I don't know if you guys knew that. They did ultimately give it to Lex Luthor. I am kidding, of course. Statistics: first appearance Blackest Night, number 6, February 2010. Real name Alexander Joseph Luthor. Occupation billionaire industrialist. Base of operations Metropolis. Special abilities criminal genius. Orange Lantern power ring channels the emotion of avarice into solid constructs of orange light. I don't know if there's more there, but the delectable Mattel label is in the way. The other figures that you can get in this wave, we have Star Sapphire Wonder Woman, Sinestro Corps Scarecrow, Blue Lantern the Flash, Indigo Lantern Atom, Orange Lantern Lex Luthor, and finally the two lanterns of Hal Jordan, both black and white. Your pick, whatever you want. You can collect 6 of them, though, to make the very large Anti-Monitor, which, if you are following the videos, I'm currently doing. 2 pieces away. Hopefully this one figure will solve at least half that problem. We'll only have 1 piece left. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to take a bit of a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and we are going to have a better look at Orange Lantern Lex Luthor. Stay to come. Still more to come, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Those sitting at the very edge of their seat right now, wondering when Spot's going to put together and have the Anti-Monitor finished, and therefore show you guys the leg that comes with Lex Luthor. I'm going to reach off camera, and I'm going to grab this guy right here. We're going to take the leg. Hopefully I can hopefully I can actually get the leg into place, and I don't have to do anything off camera here. There we go. Wow, certainly a lot easier than the arm, let me tell you. We have one arm, well, we have one leg left to a fully completed Anti-Monitor. Yay! We are going to move him out of the way, though. Definitely a review of him is to come. The other accessories that come with Lex Luthor is a power battery, lantern battery. You'll notice too that this particular lantern does not have a handle. This lantern is intended, or the battery is intended just to be held by Orange Lantern Lex Luthor. It is still a nice metallic orange. And actually just really looking at the figure and the lantern, I'm really craving a glass of orange juice. Is anybody else or a glass of Tang? I could really go with a glass of Tang. Part of me would really love just to pause this video, run out, grab some Tang, make some Tang, and then resume the video, but I'm not going to do that. I'll totally lose my place. Salivating though, just with the thought of Tang. I haven't had Tang in a long time. But he does come with a battery. I'll just put that down. Having a look at the actual figure, I can tell you one thing, and I was actually going to wait to mention this during the articulation end of the video, but one thing that's problematic with this particular figure, and from what I've heard from other collectors out there, it's a problem that is basically plaguing every figure that's been released. Maybe there might be maybe there are ones that haven't done all that bad, but I have noticed that the upper torso is extremely loose on Lex Luthor here. He's basically got a bobblehead thing going on. It's not so bad just standing him, but it's when you start moving him that you definitely notice that he is really loose up top. For those who have never picked up a translucent plastic figure, essentially this is basically a remold. There are remolded aspects like the front piece here, but for the most part it's just a repackaged DC Superheroes Lex Luthor that they've just released in this translucent plastic. Now, if you don't have any translucent plastic figures, you will notice when you get this particular figure that the plastic does feel very different than regular plastic. There's just something about it. It almost feels like it's kind of got like a candy texture to it. Like it's got more of a satin kind of, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but it definitely feels different than a regular figure. Zooming into his head, it does seem as if they've used the same head as the DC Superheroes Lex Luthor, which is fine, but I think after I finish shooting this video, I'm going to go check the old internet. I'm pretty sure early toy show shots of this figure did have an alternate head. It did have a different head than the one that we ended up getting. May or may not be correct with that one, but aside though from the actual piece here up at the top, it does seem like it shares the exact same body. It doesn't look like they've changed anything to the figure. I shouldn't say that really. There's one aspect that's been changed. We zoom into his hand, and even though it is a translucent plastic, you can see right there that they do have in fact a ring on his finger. And I think that's a nice little touch. You would have barely seen it if they had just left it out. I don't think many people would have said anything about it. But the fact that they put that in there is really, really nice. Paint-wise, I mean, there's really not much to say in the way of paint. You're basically getting an orange-bodied Lex Luthor figure. You can see through the joints, which is interesting enough. You can see kind of the workings of a figure by looking at where everything is pegged, such as like the knee, the ankle, especially in the shoulder area. You can actually see where that pin and socket, how it works inside the figure. I just wish this part here would have been, they could have done something different with that. I keep wanting to look at it, thinking that that peg is not completely into the torso, but it does seem like no matter what pressure I put into it, it does not fix the problem. It's still as loose as ever. I still like the figure though. I still think it's a very solid figure. In the way of Lex Luthor's articulation, if I reach inside his little chasm of a collar here, he does have a ball-jointed head. He does have, as I mentioned, a ball-jointed upper torso, the pin and socket shoulder, a rotation in the bicep, bend at the elbow. There seems to be no wrist or gauntlet articulation. Nope, there it is. It was just a little tight. Is there a waist swivel? Maybe not. But there is definitely the leg back and forth, in and out, a rotation in the thigh, bend at the knee, a bend at the foot. and also a swivel in the boot. I like this figure. I kind of wish that Spot could have found his other Lex Luthor from the DC Superheroes. I have, for the life of me, no idea where I put that. It's packed away somewhere, and I kind of wish I'd had it in this review. I could have done the comparison for you guys. But sadly, though, all we're really looking at, though, is... I'm just going to put it down. All we're really looking at, though, is the Orange Lantern Lex Luthor. Which, by the way, if you guys are wondering what I'm going to give this figure, even though he is technically just a retooled repaint, if you want to call it a repaint, of an existing figure, very similar really to Flash, I still like what they've done with it, and it's a different approach to some of the other figures that we have gotten from the DC Universe lines. I'm going to give Lex Luthor here... I really don't like that this is the case. I'm going to give him a 6.5. Maybe I've given him too high, maybe I've given him too low, but you guys can let me know in the comments. You can say, Spot, you're crazy. I would totally give this figure and then insert whatever rating you would have put there. All things considered, though, I'm still glad I picked this guy up, and he is still one of the nicer figures from this wave. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Mattel DC Universe Wave 17 Anti-Monitor Orange Lantern Lex Luthor. Thanks for watching, as you always do, guys. There's one figure left, and then of course we're going to be doing the look at Anti-Monitor and my overall thoughts of the wave as a whole. So there's certainly more to come, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.